This is Bearded Appliance Repair, and we're going to help you fix it. Howdy, folks. We got another top-load washing machine here today for you. Had problems with the lid lock. The customer complaint is door will not lock. So we're going to get in here. We're going to check this lid lock out and see if that may be the problem. And it happened to be the problem, and we're going to swap it out too. But yeah, we're going to get in here. We're going to check this thing out, and if you guys are having the same issues or something similar, this can probably help you figure out what is wrong with your washer. So stay tuned, and if this does help you, or if you have any questions, comment below, like, subscribe. I could use your support. Thanks for watching. Here we go. First thing we're going to do is get into Diagnostics. In standby mode, turn it left, then right, 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 left, right. You'll know you're in because you'll see blinking lights there. Then you turn the dial once clockwise, hit start, and then clockwise once again, and that's your first code. That first code there is a lid lock code, and that second code is a shifter fault. So we're going to check those things out. Okay, once we get those codes, we hold the start button. That'll get us out. Then we want to get back in and go into a manual test. So get back into Diagnostics here, turn it clockwise 3 times, hit start. That's manual test, and the first test is the lid lock. So when you hit the start button like I'm doing now, it's supposed to lock the lid, and it's not doing so. So we got to find out whether it's the board not sending any power, whether it's the switch itself. So first thing we're going to do is pop the top off here in a second and start homing out some switches. All right, to get this top off, you will need a putty knife. They got some clips that are hidden, and you need to push them in, and then once you push them in, you can pop the top up, and you won't be able to see it. I got to put the camera down here. I need 2 hands to do it, but you see how I lifted it up? On this one, it's a little bit better. You, boom, put the clip in, sucker pops right off, and then you pull it a little bit forward, and she should come up and over. Before you do this, you do want to unplug the unit. And also there is a pressure switch hose that you're going to have to disconnect, which is that clear hose there, because there's not enough room for it. So we're going to pull that thing off. She falls forward, and we're going to get to this switch and start homing it out. Okay, the connector for this lid switch is the red, white, blue, and yellow. We're going to take this off, and first thing we're going to do is ohm out the solenoid. That's pin 1 and 3, which is the yellow and the white. So it's from the right to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we ohm this, we get 116, and that is good. You want it to be between 85 and 155, so 116 ohms is perfect. Next, we are going to test the lid switch. So when the lid is shut, you're supposed to be reading closed, which would be 0 ohms, anything less than 1, but no OL. That OL is an open line, which you would see if it's an open circuit. And we're getting an open circuit whenever the door or whenever the lid is shut. So we know right now that this lid switch is bad, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. To get to the lid switch, you got some screws to take off on the back, and I'm pointing to where they are. I've already taken them off, but there's 3 screws you got to take off before you can flip this top forward. But you want to pull it towards you, lift it up, and then push it back a little bit, and then she should come up for you. It's a little tricky, and it's easier with 2 hands, but I got 1 hand here trying to work with it, but eventually I get it up. And then that'll give you the access to the lid switch itself, and you can go ahead and replace it. There's some clips holding it in, and 2 screws, and you just feed that harness through that hole, take the old one out, and put the new one in. The lid switch comes with a new catch here, and comes with 2 different colors, a gray one and a white one. You can use whichever one you want, it doesn't really matter, but since this is white, we are gonna replace it with the white one. You really don't have to do it unless it really is damaged, but I like to go ahead and swap it out anyways. It looks good. The customer paid for it, so we're gonna go ahead and swap it out. But we do that and then put in the new lid lock. Alright, I need 2 hands to put this lid lock back in, so I went ahead and did that already. Put the lid lock in, 2 screws there, put it back into the clips and fed it through that hole that goes up to the control. But once you get it back in, you can put that lid back down. Alright, once it's back down, you connect that harness back onto the board, along with that pressure hose you took off and anything else you may have took off. But once you get it all back together, we can go back into this thing into Diagnostics and test it, make sure it works. And that's what we're about to do here. Getting into Diagnostics again. Left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 3 clockwise turns, hit start. First test is lid lock. So when you hit that start button, it's supposed to engage that lock. When you hit it again, it disengages the lock. If we go 3 counterclockwise spins, that is a spin test, and it'll shift that actuator into spin, and it should spin for us. Then after we do that, we're going to go to the agitator, or the agitation test, and make sure the shifter shifts back. As long as it shifts back, we know everything's good to go. No problem. That's it. You're done. Some other tips about those 2 tests, the agitation test and the spin test. The lid lock needs to be engaged or else they won't go into it. So you need to have a working lid lock before you can even test that shift actuator. But we're good here. We have tested this lid lock. Lid lock is good. If y'all have any questions about it, just leave me a comment below. I'll see what I can do to answer it. I'm pretty good at getting back to people nowadays that I'm looking at this pretty regularly. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If this has helped, give me a subscribe, like this thing, and good luck to you guys. And thanks for watching.